everybody, this is my solution to the homework assignment for facial recognition and tracking. I'm not going to be demonstrating it because, number one, my face is very difficult to track, and I'd rather not post my face in public. And second of all, or I don't have a photo of some generic people I can use instead. So forgive me. But hopefully my explanation will be able to tell you what's going on. Anyway, so, well, firstly, of course, we need the servo. So we got the servo over here, and we're setting up pan and tilt. Usual stuff we've been practicing. And, of course, we got our mouse action. Now, one thing I've noticed is we really don't need a whole lot to global. You only need global to specify a variable as global if you're going to change it within the function, and that also needs that value that the function made also needs to be available outside of the function. And the only one here is track, which determines if track is on or off based on if you hit the red circle or the blue circle. Another difference that I've made is I found that you really need to have the saturation and value as well as the hue. Otherwise, you might pick up the hue from something else, and it might bounce servo on and off, on and off. The other thing, too, is to toggle. If the track is already on, don't go back and turn it on again. So you can skip this part. Skip this part. If it's already track, then don't track again. But the meat of the whole thing. Well, doing the same thing as we had for the lesson, which is to grab faces. But one difference I made is that we only want one face. So basically, I have an array of big face, which is initialized to 0. And for each face that we have in the list of faces, because that's what that direct detect multiscale does, is get multiple faces if there is, temporarily extract an X and Y width and height from big face, which first time around will all be 0. Because we want to get the area of both the current face and the biggest face we found. And if the new face is bigger than the area of big face, then we make big face this new face. That's what this line's doing here. And of course I've got it. I got my comment saying how to do that. And then once we're done finding the biggest face, we want to not do anything if we didn't find a face. So how do we do that? Well, we're using big face as the face we want to track. So I'm using the area. So if width times height is 0, that means is 0, then we didn't find a face. So if it's not 0, then we have a face. And to simplify things, once I have a big face with the biggest face, I transpose it back to X, Y, W, and H so that all our other components have it. One thing I found in the lesson was that for the eye detection, W and H was reused, and that was fine for the eyes because it doesn't matter. You're not using W and H again. But for the tracking, we need the width and height of the face, so we can't overwrite that with the width and height of the eyes. So I had to use J and K for the K and L for width and height for the eyes, and I fixed the formula accordingly to do that. And then now we go into tracking, and instead of a pause, asleep. Basically, I use a method to pause tracking, that if a certain amount of time elapsed since the last time we did a track movement, then go ahead and go through and reevaluate what the angle is. And so then I find the center of the box, of the center of the base, and both x and y using, and then generate the error based on also the frame center. Then get the pan angle that we want based on the error. We've done that before. But the other thing too is let's make sure that we're not overdriving our servos. So if the pan angle and tilt angle during the calculations ends up beyond the boundaries of our servo, then we limit it to that, and then go ahead and actually position our servo. And then update our time so that we can see if we're only doing it every 200ths of a second. And that's pretty much it. The rest is like usual. So I'll go ahead and run it to show that it works. But I'm not going to put any faces on it. But if you're on the red, then it's stopped, and then the track servo is on. If you hit the green, servo's off if you're not. And that's about it. And frames per second is 18. And it pretty much is that way all along. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye.